Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TMG Entertainment. My name is Aaron Connole, and this is the second of two kind of prep build videos building up to the relaunch of movie Battleground. If you guys checked out the last video, we went over kind of some of the basic intro rules, stuff that all the competitors have already seen, and we also determined our first 16 matchups. So just to recap, for some reason, if you missed that first video, go back, check it out so you can properly see who is going to be playing who. But all 32 of our competitors were randomly matched up against an opponent by way of wheel spin. In an attempt to make it as random as possible, I listed everybody in alphabetical order. I chucked them into a randomizer and hit it 2 or 3 times. Then I put that list on a wheel. So I made it as possibly random as I think I could, and we got 16 matchups with 32 players. The winners of those 16 individual matchups will go into what I'm calling the 1-0 bracket. The losers will go into the 0-1 bracket. And essentially from there, we will play through a tournament which will give us 2 #1 contenders to go for the belts, and it guarantees that every person who has signed up for the relaunch of Battleground is guaranteed at the minimum 2 matches before we head back into regular season play. That first video that I talked about had us spinning to determine what the actual matchups would be. Today's video is us spinning to determine what the brackets in the tournament will look like. So again, because everybody will be 1-0 or 0-1, it seems most fair to make this random once again. And so that means all the competitors who will be playing not only will know who their first opponent is, but they will have a very good idea of who they could be playing should they either win or lose going into the tournament. So it gives every competitor their best chance at prepping. Just like with the previous video, though, I am not alone because God knows you don't want to hear me ramble on for the next little bit. Last time I was joined by the great Papa West and Matt Beer of TMG Entertainment. This time I am joined by 2 competitors and recurring members of the channel who are here mostly because it lets them technically see their matchups first. But they're also here to vamp with me and entertain you guys. So joining me on screen, we have the head of TMGeek, Kevin Poss. And he is a recurring panelist on our weekly show After Dark. Mr. Henry Sanchez joins me on screen. What is up, guys? Thank you for being here.
What's up, man?
I like that you got a wider angle, so you're able to show off a little more. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm in the process of cooking right now, so it's middle of debating and cooking show. So if you guys need some tips, go ahead and pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys can honestly figure out what he's doing, I would try making the recipe. If you can barely figure out what he's doing, I'd also try and make that recipe because I'd love to see what you end up with. It probably won't be as good as what he's making. But
Henry's got the cooking show going on. I got the DIY projects going on in my house.
You building something in the room? What are you doing?
No, we're trying to fix our wall here. So yeah,
okay.
we're like remodeling our office. So yeah, we got a lot going on, but yeah, I'm excited for Battleground.
I have nothing except an unmade bed, but if you pay attention to our videos, I never make my bed when I wake up, so that's nothing new.
That's
So, all right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first, we'll go ahead and spin for the 1-0 bracket. Now, as I said, there's still a number of variables to this. Obviously, we got to play the matches and get our winners and losers first, but it'll be fun to kind of see who is going to play who when they're finished. So let me go ahead and get it up for me. All right, tab. Let's see if this is the right one. It is the right one. All right. Perfect. All right, so we on the screen. And we will go ahead and get started. This is the first spin.
some good matches in this.
It definitely should be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Caleb Hansen versus Frank Newberry. Caleb Hansen is a trivia player and debater for the channel. Frank Newberry has never competed in trivia or debate. He is actually the man who's created a number of the graphics that we use on the channel. But he decided to throw his name forward and step in, so you'll see how that goes. And the winner of this match As it should. And yes, the wheel does work properly, so it will take out our competitors.
Ooh.
We'll play the winner of Papa West and Jordan Owens.
Interesting.
That's gonna be like one of the top matches, I think, right there. JPO and Papa West.
All right, so matchup number 2 for the tournament. And again, as with the way that we previously drew these matches, unless scheduling becomes an exception, these will air in the order that they are being put up. So that means the winner of those first 2 matchups will be playing first. Up next, we have Austin Howell versus Jacob Barber. So the winner of this match will take on the winner of Jonathan Peck and Chad Webb.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
Again, and I'm very curious because one of the things that was kind of weirdly determined by the initial matchup spin is we have a lot of rookies taking on a lot of vets. So I'm curious to see who can pull those upsets off the vets and who will they be paired up against. All right, third up we have Alec Miller and Chris Diaz, who will be taking each other on initially, and the winner of those 2
Ooh.
will take on the winner of Kevin Moreno versus Jeremy Adams.
Anybody who's got to play Jeremy is in for trouble.
You got that right.
Yeah, man. There are 3 or 4 matchups in this only simply because I know how good some of these debaters are firsthand. That when they get paired up with rookies, that's like a murder matchup.
Nope.
At least whether it's Alec or Chris, both of them have debated before. It won't be another rookie going up against Jeremy, win or lose, really. All right, so this will be for matchup number 4. And that'll be Ryan Permison and Andy Sweet is this matchup. So the winner of these 2 will take on the winner of our next wheel spin. This is match number 4, so we are halfway through the winner's bracket for those of you who are watching. Matty and Madee. So the winner of Ryan versus Andy will take on the winner of Matty versus Madee. I think either way that'll be an entertaining match because we basically have 4 people that are good at talking.
Yeah.
How the debate will play out, I'm curious to see. But having seen or worked with all of these guys, I at least know they can talk, so it won't be a shy debate at the very least.
This is true.
Hey everyone, it is at this point I want to cut from the video and interject with one quick update. For those of you who have been viewing TMG for a period of time, you're aware that one of our former main contributors, Matty Graham, has been away for a majority of 2021. This is mostly due to personal and medical reasons that I don't feel the need to divulge, nor do I actually know all that many details. But what I do know is that the original plan, as you just saw, was for him to return as a part of movie Battleground. However, in the prep for that match, it became clear that it wasn't going to be possible to make work as we only had a limited time frame to record the match in due to other reasons affecting the match. And so because of that, a decision was made and Matty is no longer a part of our 32-person tournament. And in his place, TMG head Matt Beer offered to step in and take the spot. Now, I know there were some people who had asked on posts to be alternates and people I had spoken to that were considering a spot but didn't end up making the 32. To all of those people, I do apologize. But by the time a decision was made to make a change in personnel, we only had a window of a couple of days to record the match due to availability restrictions from other people involved. And I wouldn't have wanted to stick any of you, especially if you were a rookie, into that spot with less time to prep than everyone else for every other match has. For those who haven't seen the original Battleground, Beer has literally done this exact thing more than once, so he was just kind of the natural choice to ask. And thankfully, he said yes, so it cleared everything up pretty easily. So with that said, the match will be Matt Beer versus Matty or Raymond, not Matty Graham. Thank you. Sorry again to all of those who did want in that couldn't take the spot, but I promise you guys will all get your shots after the tournament. With that said, back to the show.
Matty's never said a single word in his life. What do you mean?
I mean, a single word we can air, maybe, but
this is true.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jordan Anderson versus Malcolm Lay is the next one on the bat. So the winner of this one will take on the winner of, funny enough, both our guys in this video still on deck. Last time we did this, it was a death sentence. Jacob was one of the last people pulled from the wheel. Actually, he was the last person pulled from the wheel, technically. So we'll see if that curse lives on in this video. Ooh, just etches over. Amaru versus rookie Shannon Briggs. So that means whoever wins versus Jordan or Malcolm has the opportunity of taking on one of our rookies, or probably the man who will be the favorite in that match, Amaru Moses.
Yeah, Shannon's a nice guy. Like him a lot, but Amaru is a beast.
That'll be an interesting matchup, to say the least. Let's go ahead and spin for match number 6. Grant Gregory, former champ, taking on Sean Hunter. Another one of those matches where, despite the fact that, and I've complimented him on air, Sean's a very well-spoken guy, going up against someone with the label former champ is always going to be difficult. The winner of this matchup, though,
ooh, there it is.
well, there we go. The winner of Grant versus Sean will play the winner of Noah McCausland versus one Henry Sanchez.
All right, Grant, I'm coming for you, bud.
Oh, he's calling his shot. Hold up.
I'm ready to cancel you in movie Battleground.
There you go.
He's calling his shot right there. He's calling Grant to win and himself to win. All right. I like the confidence. I like the confidence. All right. So we got 4 matchups left on the board. Obviously, Kevin here is still on the board. Also on the board, worth noting, the at the moment kind of, reigning champ would be the right word because of the interesting situation. But Joe Fairley's still on the board. Also, the original movie Battleground champ, Evan DeGraff's still on the board with his first matchup.
Yikes. All right.
So they will be left sitting till the end at least. And let's see who comes up next. It will be Steve Mesa, who will be taking on Evan DeGraff in his first match. And the winner of Steve versus Evan will take on J.D. Domash versus Tyler Birch, both of whom just made their debuts in TMGeek recently, I believe, Kevin. And especially Tyler making a splash. So I'm curious to see how he does in debates.
Yeah, Tyler did a great job. JD fared pretty well. He didn't win, but he did all right. Just scheduled in for his second match. So,
absolutely. So with that said, our last matchup will be the winner of the champ Joe Fairley versus Jake Reese, and then the winner of Hunter Chambliss versus Kevin Poss. But since we are using random wheel spin to determine who is, since we are using the random wheel spin to determine who the technical advantage player is going into the match, we will spin the wheel to see which one of the two comes up first. It will be Hunter and Kevin. And Kevin getting the same treatment that Jacob did in that video for this one.
Ouch. Yeah. All right.
All right. So that means whoever wins this match has a chance of taking on either Joe or Jake Reese, should he pull off an incredible upset. And to defeat the person that gets to come into this with the title of champ would be an upset, probably the biggest one of our opening 16. So that'll be a fun one. So, all right, so that is the winners done. Now, the way that we're doing this is we're going to spin another wheel because I feel like it'd be a little too easy to just start predicting who you're going to play. So the losers will get paired up with a different match, which will make the variety of our potential scheduling more interesting. So we'll go ahead and bring up that wheel. And it should be stated as I begin spinning for the first match in the 0-1 bracket that reminders throughout the Battleground videos will be given, so you don't have to take notes and try and remember who's supposed to play who. This is more for us and for you guys if you care. Well, there we go. He was last up last time around. He's first up this time. So Joe Fairley versus Jake Reese, which means the person who comes out the unfortunate loser will be the first person to play in our 0-1 brackets. And they will be playing against...
Oh, man, I thought it was going to be the same matchup.
The same matchup. Ryan Permison or Andy Sweets. If we happen to get one of the same matchups on this, that will be absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
What are the odds of that happening if I have a mathematician watching? Tell me the odds of that happening. Two different wheels that were randomized in two different orders, ending up in the same exact results twice.
16 matches, pretty high, I'd say.
All right. So we got Jonathan and Chad.
That's Peck, right?
Yeah.
Jonathan Peck, that is absolutely correct.
That's Jonathan Peck, right? Yeah.
Yes, it is. So the loser of Jonathan and Chad will take on the loser of the next match that shows up. And that will be Grant versus Sean.
According to Henry, that'll be Sean.
That should be a good match for Sean.
It's not even about. I think Henry just really wants Grant. That'd be
an awesome match, man. I want to see it too.
That would be the friendliest, roughest match I've ever seen.
I missed out on him back in the day, so it's one of those where he just started getting really good as soon as on my way out. So it's one of those where I can't wait for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. It's going to be a match where like you guys are going to tear each other's head off, and then at the end it'll be all laughs once the camera's off.
Exactly.
All
right.
I saw Grant made an awesome little thing for his debate against Hunter Chambliss. It's like a little preview thing. So he's coming hard against people.
Well, Alec and Chris was the last one.
$9.99. See me do that.
All right, so if you guys have been paying attention to the wheel, Alec and Chris was the first matchup that showed up. The loser of that match will be taking on the loser of Jordan Anderson versus Malcolm Lay.
That's Alec Miller and Chris Diaz, right?
That is. Yes, it is. Yeah. That's one of the few matchups we had where it's people who have actually debated before got paired up against each other. So that will be a match where neither of them is having to find their footing. They'll know what to do. It'll just be who comes out the better. Caleb versus Frank, loser of this match, will be paired up against, as we slowly whittle down our competitors, Amaru versus Shannon.
I think the real debate in the Caleb versus Frank is who is one of them the best Caleb and is the other one the best Newberry. That'll be an interesting battle. So I want to have a side bet on that one.
There you go.
If you want to follow Henry's side betting career on Battleground, good luck making money. I wonder who's taking those bets.
Yeah. It's called confidential betting, so meet me in the back.
Confidential betting. I like it.
You know, it would fit the branding of your channel. You probably could.
What if
get
we
away
did
with it.
start betting on? What if we did start betting on all this shit? That'd be hilarious. Let's make some money, baby.
Dude, let's do it.
I don't think I could. Every single match would be met with match fixing.
I mean,
Well,
I don't think I'd ever get away with it.
I guess we could. I guess we technically could only bet on trivia, but be down.
Sure.
All right, so the first spin of this one was Matty versus Medee. The loser of that match will take on JD versus Tyler.
Well, out of all those, Medee's my favorite, so I'll always have Medee's back.
Which means somehow, some way, we have managed in what is an even more varied setup to end up in a situation where a rookie will be playing a vet no matter who loses there. Somehow, some way, because it's 2 vets in a match and 2 rookies. So we will have another rookie vet match because we didn't get enough of those in the intro matches. All right, we got 3 matches left to go. Again, some heavy hitters still up on the board. Just misses Henry. Instead, it goes to Steve Mesa versus Evan DeGraff. It's worth noting both Henry and Kevin are still on the
Hard
board
to bet against Evan.
Yeah. Steve will be good too, I think.
It is, man. And he's got the energy, man. Like, he was one of the few people I personally reached out to and was like, how much would this interest you? And immediately was like, yep, I'm down. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Me versus Evan round 1 would have been hilarious.
That would have been another real aggressive one that like everybody just pats backs afterwards. Like, I think somebody might actually end up dead. He's technically closer to you now than he was when he first played, so it would have been a shorter drive. Someone might have actually died, but it'd be all right by the end. All right. Kevin Moreno or Jeremy Adams. Well, this would be an interesting matchup. If we end up in a situation where both the rooks can upset the vets, we would get a rematch of our very first title match between Evan and Jeremy. For those of you who have been around long enough, I still stand by the decision, but I understand the rest of my fuck-ups. There was a lot of other things wrong with that match, but I still stand by my decisions. So that would be an interesting way to do it if Evan and Jeremy both lost and one of them had to go 0-2. That would be
wild.
Because Jeremy might be the best player in this who never won a belt. It's between him, Henry, and Amaru, out of everyone that I've seen do it, in my opinion. So that would be a rough start for somebody. Let's see what our last 2 matchups hold. Both Henry and Kevin are still on the wheel.
We might, yeah.
It's got to be one of you guys. Nope, it's not. Papa versus Jordan.
JPO.
Papa versus Jordan. And the loser of this match will take on Noah versus Henry. Which, according to
so who's
Henry,
Noah going to be playing?
Noah.
Who's Noah going to be playing?
Well, if we'll play your game, either Papa West or Jordan Owens.
Mm-hmm.
But for the sake of fairness, I'd love to see you against either one of them too.
No, I think you got this.
All right. So we'll go ahead. So once again, the last 2 here are going to play each other no matter what.
Both times.
Yeah, Kevin got left to the end both times. So the loser of these 2 matches will end up playing each other. It'll be Hunter Chambliss versus Kevin Poss. The loser of that will play the loser of Austin Howe versus Jacob Barber. But again, just to determine who the favorite, quote unquote, will be, we'll go ahead and spin the wheel. And this time Kevin actually comes last, as Austin and Jacob get picked ahead of the loser of Hunter.
Kevin, way to finally be a gentleman. Way to come last.
We'll just have to do business in that first match.
It's the way to do it.
Well, what if it makes you feel any better? Whether you win or lose your first match, you're still playing the 8th match of the tournament. So you still have a break.
Yeah, I get a lot of prep then.
So there we have it, guys. Like I said, it's not worth reading all the matchups once again because there are so many combinations. But very shortly, once we begin these matches, brackets will be set up through challenge.com that you guys can begin. Have you been writing everything? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Actually, fuck it. I'll go to you. There you go. So that's all the potential matchups. Wow, that's even more work than I'm doing. I'm just making sure I don't fuck this up afterwards. So that's all the potential matchups right there on page. So many opportunities for so many interesting matches. Legends of the game taking each other on. Some potential upsets from the rookies. Blows to come. This will be a very fun thing. Very shortly, guys, once you guys see this, we will begin uploading matches. By this point, when this goes up, the competitors will already have begun playing matches. So unless just one of them's really bad at keeping secrets, then you guys will have to wait and see who will play who. But as a reminder, for anybody who at any point became lost during the amount of names that were read in this video, at the end of each Battleground match, when we are speaking to the competitors, there will be a reminder put out there as to who their next matchup is, whether it has been officially confirmed or if it's just a possibility still. So you guys will be able to kind of be kept informed. And as I said, brackets will be available. Maybe we'll do some kind of contest with predicting. So you guys will have an option there to see publicly who is playing who. With that said, Henry and Kevin, before we leave out, since you guys are here, I'll go ahead and ask you, I'm going to assume you both want to win your matches. That's just an assumption. So working off the idea that you both want to win your matches, I'll go to Henry first since he got pulled up first. I'm assuming you want Grant if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
No doubt about it. And then Kevin, you have an interesting one because should you win your match against Hunter, you will have either Joe Fairley, who is not only the sitting champ of Movie Battleground, but he's the champ of your own damn league, or the upset of the century in Jake Reese.
Yeah, Jake's a cool guy, but it'd be awesome just to take on Joe, just to test my mettle, honestly, and just to see what I got, see if I can put up a good fight against him, and see if I can give him a battle.
What I will say is, whether he wins or loses his match versus Jake, he obviously gets put into the tournament. And as we established previously, to kind of honor the fact that he was the champion and his championship was kind of through no means of his own kind of taken away because the league just didn't continue, he does have his champ's token, which he can use to defend against one of the winners of the tournament as champion. Either way, though, whether it is Kevin, Hunter, or if he loses that first match and goes up against Ryan Permison or Andy Sweet, if you are the person that takes the champ out of the tournament in the first round, you might go down in history more than Jake if he beats him. So that'll be interesting to see. But gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Henry, enjoy your dinner, and we will see you guys very, very soon when the Battleground returns.